Hello, everybody. It is us, the Paper Dungeon, streaming our main campaign on Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's what we do. We play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and sometimes other TTRPGs. Just getting into introductions, I'm Aaron. I'm the DM for this campaign. I was a player in the previous season. I'm doing my best and having a blast.
Heck yeah. I'm DJ. I play Oda here, and I was the DM for the last campaign.
I'm Gracie. I play Addie, the party spider.
And I'm Drew. I play our edgy lord. Edgy lord?
That's the word.
We're gonna get it one
I
of these
play
days,
Taleth,
guys.
the wizard.
It's your girl Jar Jar. I'm playing the quirky, crazy druid.
And I'm Grant. I play the shifter Leslie. Good job, guys. We crushed that intro. Here's your
Totally.
fun fact. Did you know that the average person blinks 14 to 7 times per minute? What that made me wonder is, am I an average person? How often do I blink? And you at home right now can ask yourself the same. Maybe count the number of times you blink in a minute and comment below if you're an average blinker.
What was that range that you gave us?
14 to 17 times.
Okay.
What did you say, DJ?
You said
14
You
to
said-
7.
14
Yeah,
to 7. You didn't say 17 the first time. And I was like,
Oh.
did he just either A, he meant 17, or B, he flipped the range numbers around. But thank you for your fun fact today, Grant. We're going to say that you cut out. That's what we're going to say. So that way it wasn't your fault. We also want to say thank you to our Kickstarter backers, because you guys are fantastic. And we could not do this show without you. And we are plugging away at getting those deliverables to you. So keep an eye on your inboxes, keep an eye on your email and stuff like that. I should hopefully be messaging people as soon as I get my crap together. So you keep an eye out for it. Additionally, this is a mature stream for mature people. If you are not that, don't need to be here. We love you. A heart goes out to you, but don't be here. So I'm ready to lock in. We all ready to lock in? You at home? Ready to lock in?
I'm already pretty locked in, I'd say.
All right, Drew, lock it in. Roll that clip.
He did.
Oh, no countdown. We're in.
No countdown.
Last time
all right.
on the Paper Dungeon.
Sorry, that was my
Oh
bad.
man.
I
Last
got
time
too
on the Paper
distracted by your
Dungeon.
comments.
Drew was dancing. He threw us for a loop. Last time on the Paper Dungeon, our group went to the moon of Toru, a prison moon that has been completely terraformed into one massive prison that only like 20% of it was being used. Unfortunately for the guards on said moon, it was within the past 5 months, jailbroke. All of the prison cells opened by one of Captain Leslie's previous associates, a Dr. Anna Rose. And they stormed the planet and kind of went full Mad Max a little bit.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, a bunch of criminals and people are roaming the planet. They navigate to the west after encountering a strange little cannibal, who they then both surprisingly and unsurprisingly killed. The surprisingly part was that it wasn't Addie. The surprising part was that it was Oda and Medora. But they get the information they need. They head west. They find an encampment where they are held up a little bit by sniper fire until they are welcomed in, and discover that the leader of this camp is Rograk, someone that they know Dr. Anna Rose was kind of seeking shelter with when she opened the cages. While they were there, they encountered a couple of nurses and found some medical help. And our wonderful wizard has gone invisible, unbeknownst to the rest of the camp, to his knowledge, and has infiltrated into a kind of dilapidated building that has been quartered off. It is strange that it is quartered off, and you also see Rograk, the bugbear, the leader of this camp, kind of looks over his shoulders and then darts in through a side entrance before you head in. As a reminder, you have around 30 minutes left on your invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
As you enter into the kind of cordoned off building, you're able to ascertain that this was most likely the kind of solitary confinement building. It has like heavily enforced walls. It is very robust. It is meant to be kind of a bunker almost. The layout is relatively simple. On the first floor, there are some processing desks, a kind of walled off chamber that you assume would be for like incoming prisoners that need to be processed, or leaving prisoners that need to be processed while their paperwork is being done, or if they just needed someone, basically like throw someone in the brig for a little bit, just as a short notice kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other rooms that is on this upper floor, you also see a stairway leading downwards. The walls of the second room have crumbled, and you can see what appears to be some form of altar, it almost looks like. A kind of wooden and stone structure that has clearly been built. It is not a natural facet on this floor that currently Rograk is standing in front of. He begins to disrobe. He's wearing these really heavy, almost like priestly raiments. And he enrobes, lower half still covered. Just kind of the upper parts of the, yeah, I know, DJ, calm down. Upper half of the garments hanging around. And you see that on his back, something that almost looks like a skin graft that is not covered by bugbear fur. You can see these really fine. It's scarred, but the skin graft is not like a square. Like, it isn't a regular shape. There are designs that the skin makes that appear to have been stitched on. And there are like still slightly leaking wounds that appear to be writing of some sort. What languages do you speak?
The human body is already a piece of art. You don't need to attach other bodies to it to make it art.
All right, Mr. Priest, calm it down.
Oh my gosh.
I know common, gith, and undercommon.
Okay, you do not know these languages.
Okay.
But he does kind of kneel and then begin to mutter under his breath, also in a language that you do not speak.
Okay. Could I, while I have a moment, just sketch out in like my notebook what the design is on his back?
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Sure.
If after that, you can also roll an Arcana check, because there are also like what appear to be like a runic language as well, kind of mixed in.
I rolled a 19 for that sleight of hand.
Okay. Little did we know, we have an artist on our hands.
Okay, not quite as good for the Arcana. That
astounds me.
A 15. Well, it's because I only rolled an 8 on die for the Arcana. So
fair. I just realized I should have looked this up beforehand. Thanks, Aaron, and your lack of preparation. That's what it's called. Sorry, I got to look up a spell real quick here. If I could spell. There we go. There's so many types of magic, you know? You notice that there appear to be abjuration runes built into both the writing that is on his back and even the structure of the skin graft. That appears to go like from the like nape of his neck, like all the way down to his lower back. He begins to murmur. You can tell that it is definitely, just in terms of vibe, it appears to be both a prayer and some form of ritual.
I liked this guy so much in the last episode.
Hey, you know.
And now I find out that he's a cultist, sewing bodies together.
Look at you just making snap judgments. Commit one ritual.
DM, if I kind of rotate around a little bit, are there any like symbols on the altar itself that I would recognize with tied to a certain religion?
Yeah. Can you first I want you to roll a stealth check with advantage, because it is a very quiet building. Like the walls are insulated. You may not be able to be seen, but you still could be heard.
Oh, I love it when I roll with advantage and still roll low. 9.
That's better than what he got on his perception.
Okay. Yeah, lovely.
That's, hey, still rolling hot from last week, Now roll a religion check for me.
Yes.
As the current representative of the McAlpis bloodline, I'm going to need you to step it up over there.
Hey,
you're hogging all the good rolls, DJ. Let him have some.
Only an 11.
An 11. You do not have. There are not any like specific religious things that you see that make you go, yes, clearly this must be blank.
Right.
It doesn't help that in the Outer Realms, gods are not like celestials that are like known by everyone. A lot of gods are limited to the sector. They are mortal people who just have a title bestowed upon them, and are given are granted the power to like share their energy with their believers, and then in turn receive energy from them. Right. You don't see any of those symbols that stand out to you. You do see what appears to be a severed foot on the altar.
Interesting. Okay.
You remember last week when he went in here and I was like, I didn't expect you to get this far. I didn't have this planned. That's because there's a lot of stuff in here that I need to have like in my brain.
I've already taken so many notes. I don't suppose are there also like any sort of carvings on the foot, or is it's just a severed foot?
No, it is a severed foot. You can't see the like severing point because it has been like wrapped in like medical gauze, and then tied around the top. It does not appear to have any sort of decay on it. It does also appear to be. Roll a medicine check for me.
Sure, why not?
I don't know how easy. Let's check how long you've been on. Like
that's a natural 20.
Oh, fantastic! You spend so much time
today.
On
a natural
wiki
20 on the
feet.
foot check.
Yeah, I was going to say Taleth the foot guy.
Yeah, Taleth is a wiki foot editor. He knows feet, dude. This appears to be a most likely the foot of a like mid-20s to like early 30s woman.
Yeah, he would know that type of feat.
What can I say?
Human?
Yes, it appears humanoid. It does not. Yeah, and human would be the term that I would use for it. It could be elvish. There's that potential.
I mean, the elves got them long toes, though. You can really tell.
To be fair, elves.
Does Odin know that?
Odin's been around the block.
I'm around the block.
Okay.
Around the block with toes.
We've got a Wikifoot editor and the developer
if I
Same room right now.
Aaron, similar to what I did with the design on his back, if I took a moment and just very intently listened, could I phonetically kind of try to write out, even if I don't know what language it even is, could I try and phonetically write out what I hear him saying so that later I could maybe come back to it?
That's rad.
That's
And
such a good question.
Really good. I'm gonna say, yeah, go for it. This will function. I'll put this in the foot inspires you. That's what that nat 20 gives you. Yeah, you're able to kind of phonetically write these things out.
Footnetically.
I'm so proud of you, Grant.
Thank you.
Look at the smile on his face too. He's proud of that.
I'm cheesing,
I would be
man.
too. I'm sad I missed it. This might take the record for most foot talk in an episode.
At least with campaign 2.
Campaign 2 for sure. Hold on, he's got to write this down.
Drew, are you writing out phonetically, Aaron, saying that it's in a language?
Well, I just have that I have notes on phonetic spelling of words spoken in prayer and ritual.
Man, that is in
Now let's go.
That's good.
May I request that we go one by one with the phonetics that he recites so Drew can write those
I
down?
will veto this aggressively, mainly because I don't have them.
Aaron, you don't have a whole nother language
I will begin
for your
to
game?
No.
I'll begin to try and back away, but I will take just one quick glance around the rest of the room to see if there is anything else of note, like within this room.
The steps leading down.
But if not, yeah, I'll just leave.
Fantastic. You skedaddle out the building. Currently, the rest of the party is out and around town, and by that I mean this small, sad, like rebellion camp of prisoners. There aren't a lot of features of this camp, but there are a couple. The main ones that stand out, you have what appears to be kind of the medical center. There's the doctors and nurses, which there seem to be a like pretty high percentage of in terms of like prisoners to people in lab coats. Not like over 50, but there's probably like 20% of the people here. You would also estimate the population to be around 200, but probably only about 100 of them are like physically capable combatants. There's a lot of like elderly and injured. There's a fair amount of amputees and people who just look sick, and there's a lot of people who have like really struggled with like hunger. That's another thing that you tend to notice. There's a food storage that is the most heavily guarded place currently in the camp. There is a chapel of which Oda has just restored Medora's sight miraculously.
It's a Southern Baptist church right now. We're dancing in the aisles. We're chanting. It's amazing.
It's a real eye opener.
Somebody got a tambourine.
Yeah. Exactly.
There is the headquarters that is the main place that Rograk tends to spend his time.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Building, the headquarters.
Headquarters. Thank you.
Yeah. There's the blocked off building that's the solitary confinement that currently Taleth. I was like Tyla. I don't know where I got Tyla from. Taleth is on his way out of, and then there's the barracks.
I will clarify, Aaron.
Yes.
I'm not going to try and leave. I'm going to try and go down the stairs to the other area
you're
that I
going
haven't
down
explored.
the stairs?
Yeah.
I thought you were full on leaving the building.
Sorry, I did say that I was leaving, but I meant I was leaving the area I was in to go down the stairs.
Okay.
Yes.
We will return to you in a moment. I'll say that sketching takes a while.
Sure.
So how about you have, let's say, 15 minutes left?
Sure.
Deal. No haggling. I like it.
I mean, that sounds reasonable to me.
Where are the kind of everyone going about? Are there anything that you would like to check out? Any places you would like to go to? There are. There's also a kind of the eating space that is not often used. And walking around, you do see at least a couple of people that you have heard of or look a little interesting. There is Erica, Addie, your kind of designated nurse who seems to know more. You see Gavin running around, and he appears to be talking to what looks like a very large robot and a very small robot. And then Taleth is the one who knows where that sniper is in the building. So the rest of you are currently still unaware. Yes, Oda.
Yeah. After Oda gives his sermon, he'll blot his forehead, tuck his rag away, and then he'll look at he has an attendant, right? There's one of the nurses that was kind of looking over him.
Yes.
Yeah. Do I know her name?
No, you haven't asked. And that's a scary thing because I've got it now. Your nurse is a male nurse that has the first name Lance.
Lance, the male nurse. What a legendary human being. Lance.
Yeah.
Would you please take me to the medical center?
Oh yeah, sure thing. He'll guide you.
Love Lance.
Is there anything you're looking for, or are we good? Or anything you need some medical attention?
I do not need any medical attention. I was actually looking to provide if I could.
Oh, sure thing. Yeah, right this way. He'll lead you into the building and he'll point out the different wards and he's like, "This here is your it's your people who are doing fine. Some bumps and scrapes. Over there, you got your more intense people, who are a little bit longer stand, and that's our ICU. It's people that could really use some medical attention, give or take.
Let's start with the ICU.
That's a triage trained man if I've ever seen one. You ever seen battle?
Absolutely, yes, actually.
Good times. Well, not quite good times. Not good time in war. You know how it is.
Yes, rather traumatic. And I have
Oda's own
two
prayer
spell slots available.
Senileness.
He remembers the war, Drew.
The war is what made me senile, obviously.
Yeah.
I had to forget it.
And
I have two spell slots for a prayer of healing, so I'll do that. That's going to be 20 minutes. Helps, like, I don't know,
absolutely,
6 or 20 people. 12 people at a time?
It's either 20 or 12. There's no in between.
I think it's either 6 or 10 people.
Yep.
I think it's 10 people.
Yeah. I mean, right now they don't have like a lot of magical healing here. A lot of it is very traditional doctoring and medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Still some bits and pieces magic enhanced, but none of them are direct like clerics. So you put in some work. Obviously the ones that are like suffering from like disease or have like fully severed limbs, like they don't regrow their limbs or anything. But the people who just have like severe internal bleeding are pretty much cured from the ground up.
I'm sorry, it is 6.
It's 6 creatures, so that's gonna. I don't know if you know how many injured you have here, how detailed that's gonna be, but I can do 6 twice with that, and then I'll go ahead and I'll use a combination. I have 3 more cure wounds, so I'll do that. I got spare the dying on repeat. I'll also take a short rest at some point, re-up some spell slots, use those again.
Absolutely.
So I'm just tapping out. I'm just tapping out.
This is like your day today.
Yeah.
So yeah, you head into the hospital and start just fixing people up best you can. You gain some definite rapport among the nurses and doctors. They're very happy for some help.
See, this is good for us. This is good for us because we know that inevitably we're going to be in a situation and we're going to need some help. And all of a sudden, this random passerby will be like, "Oh, Oda, Are
We
you
also
the
know
guy
that
you helped me when we were in that camp, you know, and then we're gonna get assistance and it's gonna rock.
and at some point we're going to have to reveal that Taleth is here as well. So good rapport is helpful for that too.
Yes, having them on your side is good.
Nah. It doesn't
an
matter.
achievement.
I just need to not get caught.
It's an
Yeah, easy.
achievement if we get through the mission without Taleth ever being noticed.
New goal.
I'm going for that
Mission
achievement.
unlocked.
He's already
Yeah.
going downstairs. We're
Bonus
cutting it
XP.
close.
The other three, is there any specific place that you're going, anything that you're interacting with, looking for, talking to anyone?
I'm just gonna walk around and just see if I hear anything. Just kind
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
take it all in, not just sit in my room. Just gonna scope out everything.
Would you like to check for rumors?
I would love to.
No.
Also, as a reminder for everyone, currently Melody is with Addie and Sirius is still with Medora.
Yes. Hit me with
I'm
a
all
100.
alone.
That is a
You have Oda.
96.
Oh, that's a high number. I wonder if it's any good.
Find out.
You encounter an older prisoner, someone who is either was already old when they got here or has been here a very long time. It appears to be a halfling with a long, unkept beard and long hair, and he is talking to a couple of younger fellows. They are attempting to rebuild some of the ramparts, the walls, and while they do it, he's telling a story. He says,
"Oh, yes. When I was a young man, a story was told to me by my grandfather. A story of the hero, Aterian. He was once kept in a prison of copper bars and steel windows that could still be seen through like glass. They were tempered that thin. It was impossible to escape. Copper, of course, Aterian's one and only weakness. They had taken his cape, his blade. But still, he was clever, he was smart. He waited for the guards to appear, and then, stealthily, quietly, he stole the key from within one of their cloaks and used it not to unlock the door, but to open the window that he knew was secretly his escape. It was there, once he scaled down the 1,000-mile tower to the bottom floor where the king remained, the one who had imprisoned him in this copper prison, that he found. He walked in, he saw the king, and he said, "King, I have come here for my cape, for my blade, and for your head." Now, the king was a wise man. He had captured a Aterian, of course, on his own, a very intelligent, very smart king, perhaps the wisest king of all. And he says, "Aterian, you may have my head, if only you can obtain your blade and your cape. I've stored them here in this chest that can never be opened. If you can possibly obtain these things, I will simply lay down and die." But Aterian knew many things. A powerful magician, a powerful sorcerer, a powerful knight, noble. He walked over to the chest and simply spoke the word "open," slammed his fist down on the lid of the chest, and it popped open. He retrieved his cape and his blade, and without a second glance, beheaded the king and left that accursed tower. The two men are just working while this story is going on. They're like, "Wow, sounds good, old man," and go about their day.
Nice.
That's all you get from there.
Rock on.
Medora, Leslie.
Go ahead,
Anywhere?
Medora, if you got
All right,
something.
I'll go. So with the eating space, is
Yeah.
it like solely just the eating space or like eating space / kitchen?
If they had food to cook, there would be a kitchen. They're pretty
Okay.
much surviving off of like war ration type. Like they've got little packets that you put some water in and heat up. That's pretty much what everyone's eating off right now.
MRIs.
Thank you. That's I'm like DMRs.
MREs,
and that's
MREs.
Cup
That's
noodles.
absolutely
I
not
actually
it.
have an MRE right here. which is interesting. I got a
You're
prop
dead.
for the
Lovely
yeah.
presentation display of
Yeah,
it's
you
beef
can-
ravioli, and meat sauce. So they got stuff like that.
Tasty.
Can I do? Well, okay. Question: in this room, can you describe it to me? Like, possible plant growth, any possible?
The entire world is covered in cement. There's very little plant growth anywhere. As though it almost feels like with the sole intent to like eliminate natural growing. You think that a lot of the oxygen that is remaining here on this moon is supplied by generator. Most of it is not natural oxygen.
Well,
A rough place for a druid.
rough place, even for me.
It's like Thneedville. Got O'Hare air
God
running the
knows.
joint.
This moon could use the gosh dang I wanted to say Snorlax. What am I doing?
The Lorax. It's really close.
My
Close.
poor Pokemon
He speaks
brain.
for the trees.
He does.
So, still in this area, I'm trying to get. I guess I will just ask for an investigation check, even though it's probably barren in that room. If there's any like possible storages that weren't looked at, or any like slept over closets.
Yeah, make
or
an
just little
investigation check for the
Okay.
for the food place.
17.
17. You can at least tell their food stores in regards to the amount of people here, even operating on like liminal rations. You think that there's probably not enough food for more than like maybe a week of time. And it's probably less than that.
Well, I turned to the nurse with me. What's her name?
Oh God.
You gotta be prepared. I'm just kidding.
I should have looked up more names. This is Avril.
I'm gonna be Medora and I'm gonna butcher it. Avril.
Uh-huh.
Why does nobody use this place no more? It looks like tumbleweeds will come in and have a good time.
Oh, well, we would. It's just no sense in using a place for eating if no one's eating.
Fair point. So, besides the rations, are y'all going out to find anything else, or is the big guy back there still holding everything?
Well, so make an insight check for me
Heard. I can do that.
as I write down another nurse name in my notes.
18. 18.
18. She seems not exactly like she's trying to hide something, more like she's concerned that the information that she knows would be detrimental to have like a group of people know. It's kind of yelling fire in a crowded theater type vibes. She's like, well, it isn't so much that I am confident. This is what I'll say. I'm very confident that Rograk knows what he's doing.
That's the case of having a cult leader.
Can you possibly?
Make a
know what?
persuasion check.
I was about to say, can I do a persuasion check?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Excellent. Woo-hoo. I'm rolling high tonight. Another 18.
See, Drew, that's how you do it. That's how you do it, Drew.
I rolled.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, hold on.
kind
Hold on.
of,
Take notes.
I rolled 115, a natural 20, a 19. Get off my case.
Period.
You kind of give her the look,
Girl.
the judgment look. She cracked like an egg. And
Girl, tell
she's
me
like,
more. What's happening?
she's like, okay, I know you're new here.
Mhm.
We aren't supposed to tell the rest of the people in case
It's
it would
just
cause any panic.
Person. It's all good.
But
It's all good.
the places to obtain food have been commandeered by Ogham's troops. So we don't have any, like, we can't grow food, and there's nothing that we could, like, we can't farm or raise any livestock because there isn't any. And so now the food stores, if we were to have them, are automatically replenished from a storage facility on Ouroboros. But we don't have the manpower or the capability to obtain them because they're all in the east. And the amount of time that it would take for us to take one over would be way faster for Ogham to send reinforcements, and then we just die. But Rograk says that he's got a plan to solve the food problem in way of getting off of here. So I'm sure it'll be fine.
Is he possibly, let's just say, does he, with the plan, like, do you have any further knowledge of the plan? Possibly girl to girl.
Kind of. I know that he's been looking for a transponder to use to contact off-world. So I know that he's got someone that he's trying to contact. Unfortunately, the transponder building, the communications building, is also in the east, where Ogham is.
Oh.
So there's a conflict of interests where we have medical supplies and trained doctors, and they have the food, the manpower, and the communication, and they can just kind of starve us out. So yeah, it's a problem, but Rograt's smart. He's got plans.
But the biggest thing you're telling me, though, is that on this side, y'all have more of the medical resources to be able to recover more quickly than Ogham.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, in past combat with Ogham's troops, out of people that die on impact in battle, we have way more. But out of people that survive the battle, we have only 10% of the deaths that occur after the battle is done. Probably. So, that's the numbers that I think we're working with.
Great. So with that, have y'all had any like recent encounters, battles?
Oh no, them? not for a while. Ever since Hawk showed up and really started putting in the work. I mean, we're in a pretty defensible position, and Hawk's very good at his job. So,
all right, fair enough. And this Hawk person, I think I've met them. Have I met them yet? Can I?
Oh, probably not. He doesn't really talk to a lot of people. He's very reclusive. You probably won't see him around. We don't really see him either. We just hear him whenever one of the neutral parties shows up, and then he scares them away with gunfire.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, and remember, don't tell the people. We don't want to start a riot or anything. It was a very big yeah.
It's all good. The stuff's gonna stay with me.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wanna there's a pastrami MRE.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be fine. And while we're talking, I'm assuming I have all my stuff on me. I don't have my weapons, but I got everything else.
No weapons, but everything else, yeah.
I take out a tiny jar of mushrooms. Just a little tiny cute little jar. Not those shrooms, actual just normal mushrooms.
Just normal like portobellos.
Pop one in like a snack. I'm like, I'm good.
And she's like, Did they not ask you if you had food on you when you came in?
Wanna portobello?
It's fine. It's fine, but it is kind of prerequisite that, as kind of as a group living situation that we all have to kind of struggle food wise, that it is necessary to donate the food that you do happen to find to the camp so it can be evenly distributed.
That's all
So
I
it's
got.
okay, you didn't know. But if you could just leave it there, I mean, people haven't had even a dried actual produce, from a theoretically living at one point in time mushroom for months now.
Quick question, Avril. What times? I don't know. I'm assuming it's like later in the day. I'm assuming it's more closer to dinner time, lunchtime.
Yeah, it's in the afternoon, headed towards evening.
Okay,
We'll
Let
say.
me see if.
I don't
let me
remember
see
what
if I
time it is,
can-
but that's the time that we're going to say because it seems convenient for you.
Let me see if I want to do this. I'll be like, you know what? I'll do one better for y'all since y'all helped our group and didn't murder us on site. All right. But it's up to This might have to be. I might have to sit here for a little bit. Do you know where y'all chefs are at? Y'all got people cooking? Because
No, we just have heated water and MREs.
You got some pots in here. You got some pots.
The ones that haven't been used as melted down into armor or weapons. Yeah, we've got a couple of ones that weren't for very good quality. That were just real bad. They've got
You
some
can
holes
hand
in
me
them.
one of those if.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you have free access to anything in this kitchen.
Right, so
other than the food needs to be regulated.
Oh, it'll be fine. I'm gonna do one better for you. All right. I'm gonna say for context. Are all the pots that she's talking about within this room or anything somewhere else?
Yeah, they're here.
Can I do an investigation check to find a pot with either little holes or just some that are more closer to the top to where nothing will pour out the bottom?
No need for investigation check. There's what you need for what you're trying to do. You can probably find.
Excellent. All right. Avril, can you hand me like a cup of water if you have it by chance?
Yeah, water we actually have in very good supply. This place was fully
great.
plumbed, so it's all well watered.
I need
It's very
1 to
good.
2 cups of water.
Yeah, sure. She divvies up just a plastic cup that
Great.
Yeah.
So I'll get the pot. I'll take the mushrooms I just laid out, and I'm like, bear with me, ma'am. I take 1 or 2 out. And if you'll let me DM, I want to cast. Object. Okay.
bated breath.
I want to cast enlarge on the mushrooms.
Nice.
I will allow this. Can you roll a Wisdom Arcana check?
All right.
Yeah, wisdom, add your proficiency if you're proficient in Arcana.
Start dealing slices of mushrooms like they're steaks.
14.
14. Enlarge is typically mushrooms are terrifying. I don't know how aware people are of this fact. Mushrooms are scary. They're like not plants. They're like flesh without a body. Mushrooms are messed up. And Enlarge Reduce is meant to be cast on like creatures, normally living creatures. So it works to varying effects. You aren't able to make like massive, giant, pizza-sized mushrooms or anything. But you are able to like a few of them. You're able to get to about the size of a fist.
And honestly, that's perfect. That's just what I needed. I look like, oh, excellent. And I'll tear them apart by my hands, throw it in the pot. And I'll just look at everyone like, you got a thing of fire I could put this on real quick?
Yeah, we've got plenty of fire too. It's mainly from electrical shortages, but yeah, we can do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you're able to set up a full cooking, start making some very bland mushroom stew.
It's something better than nothing.
You maybe throw in a couple herbs here and there. You
little Raging Cajun spice, little Old Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And people will start upon smelling anything relatively close to
Get
cooking.
your bowl of mushroom soup right
now,
here.
I will state it is very first come first serve. There's like 200 people here, and you've got one pot.
First come, first serve. Get it while it's hot. I only got
Absolutely.
one bowl.
You actually do notice that the non-doctor people, like they make sure that the doctors get to the pot first.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, and you managed to feed a strong number of people. This was a pretty large stock pot that you were able to find. And once again, opinions around the camp of said group have improved. Grant, while this is happening, is Leslie doing anything in specific?
Yeah, as he takes out his box of hot tamales from his jacket and just starts popping them in while he's walking around. Leslie is really curious about the people in this camp and where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what he's going to do after he talks to his nurse, whose name is...
Oh, yeah.
I hope my nurse... Okay. I hope my nurse is Canadian, and here's why. The first nurse kind of sounded Canadian. The second nurse was Avril, and Avril Lavigne is Canadian. So you had two arguably Canadian nurses. So the third one may also be... It was like northern, right? Yeah, there's maybe some liberty there. And so...
Yeah, this one just shows me, oh, hey there, bud.
Yeah. Did you see the hockey game last night? I can't do a Canadian.
You're wandering around like some type of Hoosier.
That's really good. That's good.
That's not that great. That's very
It's
poor.
all right. It's better than mine. Then I will... I just wanted you to say the name of the nurse.
That was just the example.
Oh, DM. Yeah. Please, can he please sound like that?
Well, maybe is Canadian. You know, well, maybe isn't. We'll just leave it up. If Graham ever returns,
Leslie will try to lose his nurse somehow.
It isn't hard. Graham is not paying attention.
Fantastic. And Leslie will go around, and he is going to try to stay pretty low. He's not going to try to talk to anybody. But he is going to pay attention to the people in the camp. Like, he wants to pay attention to the clothing they're wearing, if they're not all just in like prison garb. And he wants to pay attention to maybe accents. He wants to see if he can see any possessions or hear any like conversations that could maybe pinpoint people to where they're from. He's going to walk around and look at people's faces and whatnot. And he's going to try to determine if there are anybody from the kinds of places that he would expect to be captured through the rebellion.
Yeah. Could you roll a perception check for me?
Of course I can. That is a 10.
A 10. Off of a 10, there are two main clothing types of people. You have people who are in like pretty standard prison garb, just in like a dirty pair of pants and a white shirt, that's like tattered, torn, blood stained, stuff like that. And then you have people who are clearly doctors or at least some type of medical professional. Some of them have
like latex gloves, stethoscopes.
Yeah.
The headlight thing that's like looks like a little funnel. It looks like a volume symbol.
Sure, Grant.
Yeah, you know, chat knows what I'm talking about.
But yeah, you have people that like, I mean, they tend to people's needs. So like anytime that you see someone bandaging up a wound, which there's a lot of to go around in this camp, you also hear a bird call.
Like that?
Yeah. I mean, not like that, but yeah.
Could you give me a taste of what it sounds like?
Nope.
Just so I can maybe see? Oh, okay. Because I thought, because then I could roll if I know what kind of bird it is and the region to which the bird comes from.
Well,
may I try that?
Yeah. I suppose I can.
And I'm a ranger.
I haven't done this in a long time. Yeah, roll a nature check.
Yeah, you got it. Come on.
Yes. All right.
Nope. This is a tough angle.
Almost.
It's been a while, guys.
It kind of sounds like blowing into a
nature
cup.
Check. We'll get there.
I already rolled it. I'm just letting you do your thing. Woo. I'm going to clip that and use that as a sound bite. That was very good. It was like a morning dove.
Be able to do like cool like hand things to like change the pitch. I don't remember how to do that.
Wow, you are
did you get
a
on that
human
nature and roll this with
ocarina?
advantage, by the way.
Thank God. Because it was
He was about
one
to
less,
accept his roll.
unfortunately. 9.
We gotta get you better
Ooh.
dice.
Yeah, I've used many different kinds of dice, and I always have this problem. I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's a personal issue,
Maybe I just need a better rolling
We need
technique.
to get DJ in there. Bless your dice.
It's all about the proper shaking of the wrist. You got to rattle it,
You are unable to tell what type of bird this is. I will say that it stands out to you because you have not seen a single bird while you've been here.
Oh. It doesn't happen to be Melody, does it?
It is not Melody. You have not seen a single bird other than Melody.
Okay. Oh, that is pretty interesting. Other than like people's garb and accents and things with that 10 roll, is there anything else that I maybe noticed? Can I get a gist of where people are from at all, or do I just not have a clue?
Not with a 10. A 10 is a little low for me to give you a gimme on that one.
Would it be possible for me to also try to eavesdrop just here and there? And it's okay if this is too far. I'm really trying to determine if anybody from this place was like maybe wrongfully imprisoned here. So specifically, I'm trying to prick my ears up to anything like that. Like, man, I'm really excited to get back to my daughter who I was separated in the rebellion, something like that would be great, or adjacent to it.
Yeah, feel free to roll me another perception check, Grant.
All right. You're being very gracious to me.
I know. Never forget it.
19.
Oh my God. A double-digit number. I was so happy.
He rolled a double digit before.
Yeah, 10 doesn't count. 10 is like the ones of double-digit numbers.
That's the first loser of double-digit numbers.
Absolutely. It's not like a jack. Jacks are thriving. You don't find anyone specifically from the rebellion, at least that you would know of. You are able to pinpoint where the bird call is coming from.
Oh, okay. I love accidentally finding birds. Where is it from?
It is coming from the kind of a larger building that faces the entrance that you guys came in through.
Okay. And is this building, this isn't the one that's falling apart, right? This is just
this is
building.
Just a tall building.
Okay, very neat. Wow, there's a bird in there. All right, I think that's all Leslie will do. He finishes his hot tamales.
Grant.
Yes.
Do you seriously not understand?
Hold on, what's happening?
Don't say anything.
Grant.
I just want Grant to know you are my favorite player.
What? Wait, I feel like I'm missing something that you are all noticing. I'm going to take my hot tamales box and just walk up to the nearest person and be like,
Grant.
Where's the nearest trash can for this?
They just point you to a trash can. No, correction.
Thank you.
They say in yonder tall building on the 5th floor.
Oh, the one where I heard the bird call from.
Bird call? That's impossible. There's no birds on tour.
I know what I heard.
You must be going crazy. You should talk to the doctors or something. I'm sure they can get you something free if you're hearing bird calls on Toru. That would be insanity.
We did already talk to him, and I think I may have some head trauma for some rubble.
Well, there's no shame in needing to take pills for your mind,
We had some amnesia. I almost forgot that I had these hot tamales tucked away in my jacket all this time.
Hot tamales? You mean to tell me you had food of your own that you brought in here?
Just a little candy.
Candy? I ain't had candy for the past 14 years.
Oh no.
Aw, shucks. I should have thought of that before I finished him off. I had at least a few handfuls. I'm going to go
Well, yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
you say your thing. No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
I'm not important in this conversation. I'm
Well,
a nameless NPC.
I feel that I owe it to you because I finished my hot tamales without sharing.
What?
I'm going to go ahead and walk to this tall building where you said the trash can was in.
Oh, yeah.
And
our
I'm gonna
one
go
trash can in the whole facility that we keep in the tall building. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the best place for it at the top of a building, but I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna investigate this bird calling. I'm gonna take or sketch a picture of it and show you later.
You do that, son. I'm sure you won't find any birds in there.
Are you willing to bet on it?
Absolutely. I don't have any money, but you can take my life if I'm wrong.
We don't have to go that far. Is there anything of value that you might have that you would be willing to wager with me on whether or not there's a bird in that building?
Nope.
All righty. I hope you have a good day. Sorry about the candy.
Will. Back to not existing. And then he goes.
Man, Leslie will then walk towards this tall building, which for some reason feels important.
By himself?
then-
Oh god.
Oh, and with
then-
not a single hint.
And then he's going to start, he's going to hopefully find directions like arrow signs or something that has a little trash can like symbol next to it. He's going to try to follow the signs to find the one trash can in these facilities.
Yeah,
For his hot
absolutely.
tamales box.
Investigation check.
Okay.
This is very important.
Yeah. That's a 14.
A 14. You head up to the third floor. This is up for buildings in this very brutalist architecture landscape. Third floor, pretty high up there. This building may even have 5 floors on it. It's one of the tallest buildings that they have. You get to the third floor. And it is basically a parking garage-esque build. Like there's a lot of open space, big pillars, big open windows that kind of show the outside. And you see on the ground, there appears to be just a pile of gray cloth. Just like a big pile, like a human-sized pile of gray cloth.
Okay, I guess I approach it and take a closer look.
Yeah. Make us. Are you trying to be stealthy or anything?
I don't know why I would. I'm just trying to find a trash can.
No. Fantastic.
Sorry, that wasn't directed at you. That was directed at my inner anger of not knowing why this building is important and why everyone was making faces like, "Are you sure you want to approach
Grant,
the
Grant,
pile of gray clothing?"
I'm going to throw you a bone here, Grant. What have they been calling their guardian angel this entire time?
Gray clothing boy. I don't know. Actually, I don't. The hawk. Oh, a bird noise. Yo, but what if he's chill? You know, I'm gonna look at this gray clothing.
Leslie is giving sadly
Fantastic.
the final girl energy from horror movies.
He really
Sadly?
Where,
Why are you saying sadly?
Here's the thing: it's like the clueless last girl, where it's like the dots don't connect.
Again,
survive the longest.
Why sadly? This is awesome.
Because
I love this.
Because she's about to die.
Leslie somehow has managed to tear his shirt in like a crop top fashion on accident.
Is Grant our group's himbo?
Yes.
And I just never
definitely.
realized it.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Let's let Patreon decide or something. All right,
yeah,
I got
you
a 10 on whatever roll that was.
Oh no.
You approach the pile of cloth, and much to your surprise, it very quickly moves, and you are greeted with the sight of a long-barreled rifle pointed directly at you.
Oh, don't shoot. I'm looking for the nearest trash can.
Found the truth.
The barrel lowers. You see a like grizzled, you assume to be a shifter. He is still in like urban camo, like all gray, like basically like he's in like a urban ghillie suit, meant to kind of just look like a pile of rubble. But his face is like tanned and leathered and lined with age. You see like streaks of gray hair that kind of drape around his face, not super well kept, like roughly shaven, probably with some type of knife. And he looks at you and he says, "Boy, lower your damn hands."
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had a rifle pointed at my face is all.
You're just as oblivious as I remember.
Wait a minute. Hey, Jerry. Do I know who this guy is?
Is it Jerry?
Make a history check.
Okay.
Jerry was not a shit.
Okay. Yeah, Jerry was just an old guy.
Jerry was a full-on werewolf.
Wait, is this history you said?
Yeah, history.
14? Yes. I love you.
Was this the last crewmate?
No, this is just his dad.
Wait.
Y'all don't even know. This is a 14 still.
Ooh, a 14 still.
Wait a minute.
His face is very familiar. And specifically the way he talks to you, you can't quite remember a name, but you think that he is probably one of the pruners.
How did you make it here? How'd you get here?
I should be the one asking you. I thought you were dead.
I thought you were dead. I thought everyone was dead. Well, until recently.
Well, a good number of us are. But most of us.
How many are left? Do you know?
It's not like we've been known for keeping contact, Mr. Start a rebellion and then get killed on my own ship.
You know I had to do that. Nobody else was going to.
We each had to do our own things. I gotta be here. You had to go die on a ship and then come back to life.
You know, that's one thing that I really didn't like about how we all send off. I'm the only one trying to keep the balance at this point. Everybody else decided to go their own way.
Whoa. And where were you?
Wait, Leslie.
For the past however long. What were you doing? Keeping track of things? Keeping the balance where in hell, wherever you were? Because I guarantee you didn't go to heaven.
All right.
Oh.
In that case, how did you keep the balance? Let me ask you. What did you do to try to prevent things from going out of whack? While
I did
was
on
off
an individual basis. What do you think I'm here? Look, just because I failed doesn't mean I didn't try.
All right. Look, the fact that even you are alive, and there are others that might be alive, could mean a lot for the future. You understand that, right? Even with our differences and our disagreements, it gives me hope. I haven't seen it back home. I don't know what it's like. In fact, I haven't wanted to know. And that's been my burden. But now I'm starting to wonder. And maybe, as painful as it sounds, if we were to get together and really put our minds to it, it might be possible that we bring it back.
Make a persuasion check for me.
I'm not even kidding you. Natural 20, baby.
Yeah.
Look, he sucks at rolling dice, but when it counts, he always pulls through.
When it counts.
I swear it is a natural 20. The fact that this, I'm going to take a picture. I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to take a picture.
I believe
Post it in the TTRPG Discord.
Really? it's our fault because we try to make sure it never counts on Grant
It's
for the
true.
most part.
And you see, I believe you so much that you're the only person that I could go check, and I'm not going to.
That means so much to me. I am going to drop it in the Discord. I'm just gonna drop this picture. Okay, I'm done tooting my own horn. I look at him seriously, almost a little bit frustrated.
He meets your eyes, and it is a painful thing to see. You're looking into the eyes of a man who has been thoroughly broken. You see no traces of silver, which is good. But his eyes are looking directly into his eyes. Actually reminds you more of who this is. You think that this is, or at least at one point in time, he would have been known as Pierce Hackman.
Oh. Okay, let me write that down for a moment. Is there anything about this particular shifter or pruner that I know as far as like his position? Obviously he's older than me, and that's honestly enough. But if there's anything else that's relevant about Pierce,
well, one of the things about the pruners is like there were never more than 12 core pruners, and then they would occasionally have like a disciple. Sometimes people would leave the group, so there may be like retirees, but only like 12 fully active like core members at any one point in time. Pierce was definitely one of the older ones. You're reminded of who he is because of his eyes. He has these piercing, like golden eyes that as you look into them now have lost luster. They are dead. Just a well of remorse and sadness. You don't even see the like frustration that you are emitting. It just isn't even there anymore. It's past the point of being frustrated at how much he's lost.
I think in seeing his expression and behind his eyes change is enough for Leslie to speak before him. I'm sorry. I've thought many times about what I would say and what it might be like if I were to meet one of you again. And none of those circumstances, it was like this. I apologize. I forget that you're the one that taught me about balance in the first place. One of the many, and well, it was beyond me to talk to you that way. For so long, I thought there was nobody that wanted me to succeed. And that got me. Because I felt like I was the only one fighting for something that we all believed in. And just seeing you alive, well, it's the first glimpse of home I had since I was killed on that ship.
It's good to see you kicking again.
You too. So, how are you guys getting off this planet then?
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, you'll die. The food's about to run out from what they were saying.
I'll die when Rograk does. No sooner, no later.
Why is that? He seems like a decent fellow enough. He just wants to get off.
He's my ward. You want to know how I'm doing my best to keep balance in a world where the scales have tipped so far One end's on the ground and the other end is broken. This is what I've got.
DM, what's a ward, and does Leslie know what a ward is?
A ward is just someone that he is keeping an eye out for. It is often like if you are like foster parenting someone, then the child would be like your ward.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, I do owe you a bit of an explanation how I got here, I guess. It's kind of tough to explain, but in short, I'm with a group of fellas that are all sort of on their own journeys. They have their own reasons for things, and we seem to be getting along. And by some odd circumstances, I ended up back here. And now I seem to be sticking with them, and we're getting along quite nicely. And as we go, I'm noticing that things maybe not be as grim as I thought they once were. So, seeing you is really making me jump ahead in my mind. And, well, if it's possible, and if you and maybe Ragrock, is that his name, DM?
Yeah, you got it. Close
thank
enough.
you.
It's Rograk, but you know, you got the vowels.
Dang
They're
it.
in the name.
If you and maybe Rograk have a vestige out with us, then that might be something we can arrange.
If you can convince Rograk, then I'll go. But he can be... He has some prerequisites. It's probably a bit before your time. But when I was a younger man, I knew him by a different name when he was still a free man.
Oh, yeah? What might that be?
Thanks for the hook.
You're welcome.
I knew him as the Butcher.
Drew, you're heading into the basement.
No!
Yes, I am, DM.
Or Gracie just doesn't get to play this episode.
Hey. She
I'm
talks to
enjoying this.
people.
I'm good. I'm enjoying this. I'm watching.
Drew,
Taleth, take the wheel.
Taleth is heading into the basement of the solitary confinement building. It is just one flight of steps. The lower floor is in a kind of T shape, but you notice that many of the doors have been taken off the hinges to remove their kind of solitary confinement type purpose. Mm-hmm. A little bit more open concept, you know. You hear the sounds of people. Some muffled breathing, a couple coughs here and there. There are occasionally the sound of someone like, it sounds like someone having like a nightmare or a bad dream. They'll cry out in either surprise or pain or fear or something among that. You also hear kind of the muffled sound of footsteps.
Okay. Still, so trying to keep to the shadows.
I am one with the shadow.
Sorry, I was trying to double check my notes to see if the name the butcher had come up previously, and I had taken note of it or not.
It has not. I can tell you that much.
Okay, great. So since I only have 15 minutes left of my visibility, I'll try and keep to the shadows as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm going through. Yeah, and I mean, I'll just try and do a quick sweep of this whole place. My main goal is to find the doctor as quickly as possible before my invisibility runs out. But certainly we'll still try to if something really does kind of pique my interest, I'll try
Can
and
you
give it
roll
some
both
attention.
investigation and a stealth check? Do not
Sure.
roll the stealth check with advantage for this one.
Okay.
This is getting scary.
Okay, so stealth is 21.
Okay.
Perception. Or I'm sorry, what'd you say? Perception or
Investigation, or if you want to use perception, you can. Doesn't really matter to me.
I'd rather use investigation.
I know you would.
That would be an 18 DM.
18. It is pretty easy to kind of suss out. This is not like a huge area. It's just kind of an X. You head down a hallway, you head down another hallway. There are rooms. You go towards the west wing. Most of these rooms have had the doors taken off, the walls torn down between them, and there are medical beds, gurneys that are lined up where you see 3 people in guards uniforms that are the ones making those kind of muffled shouts and like mid-terror outbursts every once in a while. These appear to be officers. Down the other hallways, you find 17 more guards. It appears to be they're in guard uniform that are have their arms chained so that way they can't run away, but they appear to be of relatively sound mind. They look as hungry as the people outside do, but no worse, so to speak. Finally, towards the kind of footsteps, those subtle footsteps that you heard, you do come across a tabaxi that you recognize from the surveillance video. You find Dr. Anna Rose. She is currently kneeling next to one of the guards in uniform. And you hear her say, "Darling, you must eat. It's not healthy for you to not eat." And then she pauses. And she says, "I bear you no ill will, friend. There's no need to hide. Not from me."
Mm-hmm. 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 In her mind, she hears, so she doesn't hear my voice from wherever I'm at. And this doesn't break my invisibility because it's not a spell. Captain Leslie sends his regards.
Her roll an insight check for me.
Sure.
This feels like wizard foreplay. Detecting the invisibility using like the message cantrip.
DJ over here, like, is this flirting?
Oh my god.
Oh, okay, not too bad. 15?
15. I mean, she is a tabaxi. You see the like hair on her, on the like base of her neck stand on end and shift. She kind of tenses her whole body. You're not sure what exactly that entails, but it's somewhere between either like pure surprise or like agitation. And she responds not mentally, but she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, dear, but Captain Leslie is dead. I watched it happen."
Okay. And what if the ghosts of your past are haunting you? How would they react to seeing a sight like this?
A sight like what?
Torturing prison guards?
You call this
Experimenting
torture?
on them?
Them? No. Look at them. Do they seem harmed? Do
What
you
are
see
you doing
wounds?
to them?
I'm trying to feed this one.
What are you trying to feed him?
The prisoner's foods.
And what are the prisoner's foods?
MREs, apparently.
Do I believe her, DM?
She holds up an MRE packet. It looks like the ones that you saw up top.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the flavor.
Can I look at? So you said the 3 guards that are screaming occasionally. They're like the 3, like they're on some of the beds, right?
Yeah, they're the ones on the gurneys.
And can I just step closer to one of them and just give like a quick glance? Like,
yeah,
does
make
it
a medicine check.
Okay. Oh boy, this is so very interesting. I'm very interested to know like what she's after. Oh boy. Well, I'm not good at medicine. 6.
They do not have. I mean, you've seen torture.
Mm-hmm.
You've maybe even performed it a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know your way around. That really wasn't your shtick. That was her shtick.
Yeah.
But man, that's a fantastic question. But you do not see signs of what you would consider torture. They have a couple of wounds here and there, but they mainly look like they were attacked at some point in time, or they fought against something. You're not sure exactly what has put them in this state, but other than like what appears to be like a saline drip, you don't really see any signs of like poisoning or experimentation even on these guards.
Okay. And I already asked her, like what she is doing to the guards, and she said feeding them.
Yeah.
Right. Were these men injured during the battles?
It's terribly rude to ask questions without at least letting me know who you are. I would hate it if one of Ogham's infiltrated into here.
Let's just say I'm an old friend of the captain.
I didn't know a lot of the captain's friends, so I hope that you're telling the truth.
I'm gonna roll a die real quick.
Sure.
Oh, why?
Yeah,
Whoa,
that's fair.
whoa.
This is the do I kill you instantly die.
Oh no.
She says, during the first day of the breakout, many of the guards were killed. Some of them were protected. Rograk defended them. Prisoners tend to not be very fond of their guards, especially not when they're eating their foods, especially when the food is a very limited supply. So in order to prevent them from both running and giving up a very important advantage, and from the people above killing them where they stand, we thought it most prudent to keep them here.
Fair
How did you
enough.
know the captain?
I traveled with him for a time. Told me a little bit about you. Said that you like to experiment. That you deeply loved your research, and we're quite fond of pushing the boundaries of medical knowledge.
Everyone needs a hobby.
It seems you found yours.
Yes. How did you get here?
Found your little teleportation circle.
Can you make a deception check for me?
Sure.
With advantage, because this is technically truth.
Okay. Deception.
I love how the three of us are like holding our breath.
21 DM.
She says, I'm surprised. I thought the rubble would have prevented that. So I'm guessing that the statement of experimentation probably comes from what you saw there. Am I right?
I know what you did. I want to know why.
There's a lot of reasons why I do things. For one, because the topic interested me. It was an interesting section of research that I had not yet considered. Two, because when the crew of the skirmisher was captured, most of us weren't offered a plea deal, but I was. And so between getting to enjoy my hobby or being put in a cell, well, I think anyone would choose the prior. And the reason why it went the way that it did is because I may be very good at my job, but I didn't have all of the right parts. And so I thought it better to let a failed experiment do something that could be worthwhile or at least interesting, rather than have it remain trapped in a test tube. At this point in time, you have roughly 5 minutes.
Okay. Was divinity the thing you were missing?
Well, I'm no god, if that's what you're asking. People tend to not be very fond of me, so gathering followers would be quite a struggle. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Boo-hoo.
You seem very suspicious of me.
I'm suspicious of everyone.
That surprises me as one of the captain's friends.
I never said I was
Maybe
good
if you had
friends.
been there on the ship with us, he wouldn't have gotten betrayed so easily.
Oh, well, that definitely would be true.
There is a slight potential that I've been having this conversation with my own conscience, but I do not think that I normally hear footsteps. Do you plan to remain here invisible forever? Are you some form of sprite or pixie? Do you not trust me enough to reveal yourself?
I'm not so frightening.
Well, that's still to be seen, but
Oh,
you have
come on,
answered
I
my
couldn't hurt a fly.
questions.
But
I've answered every question you've given me. What more do you have?
Given the fact that my invisibility is going to wear off very soon, keeping a fair distance from her and always kind of within my sights as to not get surprised by her, Taleth will kind of still somewhat obscure drop the invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am.
Oh my. You must have been quite young when you knew the captain.
Let's just say I'm not all that you see.
Illusions upon illusions. Fascinating. Upon looking at you, you look rather pallid. Are you sickly?
No. And yes.
A conundrum. Did Captain send you just for me?
I'm here for a different reason than the captain.
Ooh, then is it just for me?
Quit flirting with her.
Shut up.
No, this is good. Keep it up.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Come on. Chama.
In your research of quicksteel, is there a way to extract it out of someone?
Have you been infected? Well, it isn't an infection. Have you been injected, I should ask?
Not myself.
Ooh, a friend. I hope it isn't a girl. You're no fun. It depends on how long it has been there, among other factors. Are they a shifter?
No.
That's good. Shifters are notoriously difficult. They react very strongly with quick steel. But it could be done, potentially. If they were injected around the time of the privateers, then it would be doubtful. Too much time has passed. It has engraved itself upon their very being. Not so easy to remove. Pushed back, perhaps, but not removed. But if it were new, if they were young, then perhaps it would not be pleasant. Never pleasant.
Could you do it here?
I could probably manage something, assuming it can be done. I am quite good at what I do. Skilled hands.
And what would it cost me?
That's a dangerous question to ask a girl like me.
I've known a few.
You hurt my feelings.
What can I say? I've been around the block a few times. Not exactly my first shady deal.
Oh my gosh.
I don't mind a man with a little experience.
Yo!
Honey, open a window. It's getting steamy in here.
Ooh.
I like to exact payment after I've done my work. That way I don't end up cheating anyone, and I know exactly what my work is worth. If you give me some grizzled sea captain, then a lot more efforts would be required. Easier. Perhaps it would be a lighter payment. I do not operate on a sliding scale. I also don't take insurance.
Why Rograk? Why come to him?
He owes me.
I see.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I
The
see.
shadows muffled your voice.
I see. And do you trust him?
I trust the man that he is now. I trust that he does not let a favor go unresponded to. Plus, I trust the Hawk.
Do I recognize that name, DM?
The Hawk?
Oh,
roll a
those a
history
hawk.
check.
I
Oh,
thought
the
she
hawk?
said Thog.
Ah, yes, Thog. Writing that
Wait a
down
second.
for my list
Plus-
of names.
Plus, I trust my homeboy Thog. You'd love the
My guy, Thog. We went to
That's
college
my dog.
together.
Yeah,
bro. That's my
we were actually
dog.
roommates
That's
back in
my
the day.
dog.
Okay.
I'm
That
just
was
saying,
way
if
before
we play
Rebellion.
our cards right, and we end up with the Hawk, Silvers, Rograg, Dr. Anna Rose as our crew.
And we can leave all these other chumps to die.
Well,
This
Hold
is
on,
not
wait a
an
minute.
athlete win.
Reel it back
This is
real
working
quick. Hold
perfectly
on.
for us.
Hold on. Reel it back. Wrap it up.
Thank you for being honest with me.
I'm a lot of things, dear, but a liar is one that I try to be very rarely.
Fair enough.
It's not good for research if you lie about it. Speaking of which, do you have a skincare routine?
No.
For shame. You, alabaster skin like that?
Let's just say it's a condition of mine.
Well, hopefully I get to know you well enough to learn some of your secrets.
We'll
I
see.
think Rograk should be done with his ritual by now, if you want to head back upstairs.
I'll be back in a little while.
Oh, please, anytime. I'll be here.
I'll be back, baby.
And Taleth will make his way out. Again, careful to still stay kind of to the shadows on his way out.
Yeah.
As he actually exits the building, he's just going to just like literally like turn a quick corner, just walk up a wall,
Yeah.
and just kind of like get up to like kind of a like just still a part of the like the abandoned portions of the buildings here, just kind of hide up in a balcony for now and attempt to make contact with the rest of the party.
Awesome.
Is
A really quick piece of
yeah.
information for you that may be prudent. As you leave the upper floor of said building, you do notice that the foot is not on the altar anymore.
okay, cool.
It walked away or something.
Yep.
Yep.
Foot disappeared.
It's like the worst possible version of that hand from the Addams Family.
It just like curls its toes to inch along the floor. Or it like wiggles them.
Maybe it's like double jointed. Like a
Yeah,
caterpillar.
maybe it wiggles them. Or like, have you seen the
This is
yeah, the
getting
cater-
worse.
Okay. Anyway, no. We don't need to continue.
Drew,
this
is important. The truth is important. Think about a centipede and how the like legs move to push it along. Maybe the toes kind of do that. And, like, shuffle sideways.
I like to imagine that it goes just like heel toes its way along.
Oh yeah.
I thought it rolled, so what do we know?
Maybe it does all of the above. It just kind of cartwheels and flops its way.
Drew, why don't you weigh in on this? How do you think the foot would move, Drew?
The people need to know.
I think it just floated away.
Okay.
Lightfoot. So Taleth, after kind of finding a place to kind of perch himself and kind of hide, he will. I don't know how big this area is, so I will certainly move around as I need to. But I will basically do what we had discussed a couple episodes ago, DM, of talking through my familiars to the party members. So I will first communicate with Addie, and I will say, I managed to find a good doctor and speak with her a little bit about some of our questions. It seems that there's a chance she can help the girl, but we need to bring her here.
Okay. Not a fan.
I'm not a huge fan either, but I don't have any other ideas right now. I don't think she wants to leave anytime soon.
I would feel better about bringing the girl here if we could help these people and their current situation to where they are not stressed about finding a way out.
Very true. If they catch wind of how we actually did get here, things could get bad very quickly.
Yep.
So we might have to fight an ogre. Lovely.
Well, I'm sure there are other ways to take down someone.
Burn the city. Burn the city.
Burn.
Are you with the others right now? Are we scattered right now?
Scattered. I can go find Oda.
If you could find Oda and possibly Leslie, I can relay with Medora and we can try and meet up. Maybe just in the main hall.
Yep. Yeah. I'll go find Oda and Leslie.
Excellent.
And I will basically relay. Well, I'll just So doing the same thing through Sirius now, talking to Medora. I'll basically give the same synopsis that I gave to Addie, and then I will actually wait just a little bit before going because I want to take 10 minutes to cast Comprehend Language as ritual.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then I'm going to go back through my notes, both what I wrote down and then the phonetics that I wrote. I will attempt to re-speak it and then understand it.
Wizard.
Oh yeah.
You relay information. Addie, you know where Oda is. Because you know where Oda is. That's like always kind of on your mind.
Yep.
Oh, you do care.
Nope.
On the mini map, Addie can see Oda as one of the points on the mini map.
Addie has the mini map and it tells her where her allies are, and they're all blue dots, and then there's one red dot, and that's Oda.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the meanwhile, as people are starting to group up, Medora, you were contacted. Back up in the tower. Pierce, I almost called them Lance, but that's the male nurse. Pierce and Lance, they go together. And Pierce says, Anum as the butcher. Back in the day, there was a
troublemaker is putting it lightly. He was something of a serial killer. Wandered between the moons, carving people up. Messy business. Real messy business. He was making his way from moon to moon, and he was headed towards mine. He was going in a pattern. I put it on myself to prevent him by the time he got to my place. By the time I tracked him down, he had already killed 5 people. He was real good. But I got to him too late. He had found a doctor and a priest. Apparently he wasn't the butcher all the time. Something was driving him towards it. And they found a way through some ungodly, or maybe more godly than I'd care to admit, way to keep the butcher locked up. I put it on myself to keep an eye on him. He asked me to. Frankly, I wanted to kill him right there. But the priest asked me not to. And I owed him a favor. And so I've kept an eye on him for as long as I could. It's the only promise that I've managed to keep.
I'll talk to him. I think this is something you should do. If part of you keeping the balance is keeping an eye on Rograk, then that's exactly what you should be doing. I'll go talk to him, and I'll come back for you. I'm going to find a way to get you both off this place. Because I'm not the man that I used to be. And I think I'm noticing now that maybe it was me that needed pruning all along. And maybe just now is the exact point in time where we're called to duty. Now is the time better than ever that you and me and whoever's left can fight to bring balance back. Because we are far out of balance.
He looks at you and with the same mournful eyes, and he says,
Leslie, I remember every active member of the Pruners from when they were still apprentices. And you've gotten old, weaker, and a hell of a lot uglier.
Oh, maybe.
But your stupid youthful optimism is just the same. Maybe it's a good thing. But I've gotten to the point where I've learned that no matter how much you try to add to the other end of the scale, sometimes things just won't be balanced ever again. There's sometimes that doing new things will never return the old. So I wish you luck. But I don't think I can join you on this balance-finding journey. Maybe one of the other ones will. Do you still have it? The relic?
Not with me. But I know where it is. Thought I lost it, but recently I found it again.
I was against you ever having it.
I know.
Part of me still kind of is.
Can I ask you a favor?
I can't make any more promises.
In that case, let me talk to him. And we'll take it one step at a time. I only ask that you help me until you can't.
Son, I fear I'm already there.
Beep, 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 beep. Sorry, my pager's going off. Taleth does the thing.
You're dealing with Oda. I assume that Medora went to go get you. So yeah, you like knock on the, you're like, I heard someone was looking for a trash can. Medora, you pop up.
And am I interrupting something?
No, not at all. I just met this kind gentleman here.
Are you not going to introduce me?
You can call me Hawk.
And this is Medora, one of my companions.
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
I'll be back. Trust me.
I'll be here. I've got a road to watch.
And then he turns back into the pile of rubble.
Just like deflates into a pile of gray cloth again. Yeah, I'll head out with Medora.
Really?
And I will. They said that the trash can was on floor 5. I have this box. I don't want to be carrying with me.
Give me the box, and I gotta reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's true. Thank you, Medora.
The
problem,
five
no
of
problem.
you navigate to a meeting spot pretty out of the way in this. The best way that I can describe the shape of this encampment is a cul-de-sac.
Nice.
It's just kind of a keyhole shaped situation. So you end up kind of near the top of the key, kind of behind some stuff in one of the more crumbled down areas, as you kind of all group up once more.
Do I learn stuff from my ritual notes?
Oh shoot, yes. A lot of it is still very jumbled. These are archaic runes. You get the sense of there are several different languages going on here. There's some that is arcane in origin. There's a little bit of a celestial. There's a little bit of infernal. The ones in celestial specifically refer to a god of decay. The arcane ones, you recognize those are the ones kind of abjuring, like imprisoning, kind of that kind of stuff. The infernal ones is more of a list of names, like and not demonic names, like mortal names written in infernal text.
Interesting. Lovely. Okay.
Talk to Oda about it. You should talk.
Oda wants to know. Hint.
Celestial and infernal fluently.
So I imagine, DM, that as the other 4 are making their way up to wherever Taleth is hiding, there are just a few notes like kind of scattered about as he's been trying to like decipher what some of this ritual could have been, and what some of the runes on Rograk's back could have been.
Ugh, I hate that. Hate that sentence. Everything about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, lovely.
Good to know I
There
found
you
a
guys
DJ
are.
thing that he hates. That's pretty sweet.
Every episode you get another one that you can add to your list.
Oda, Leslie, did Medora or Addie catch you up to speed at all?
Well, I know
did.
that
I
found
guess
the
absolutely.
doctor.
I was a little shocked about the man I encountered.
Right. Okay. Well, Leslie, to catch you up to speed, I found Dr. Rose. She can likely help us with the girl. However, we would likely need to bring her here.
Well, why isn't Dr. Rose up here with us right now?
Well, she's attending to a sensitive matter of her own. One that the locals would not be too keen on.
It's not because I'm here, is it?
She thinks you're dead.
Oh,
That's
well, maybe it's
fair-
better that way.
Yeah.
So you're saying we got to get the young one here?
Yes. However, it would likely be best, as Addie and I were discussing, to perhaps address this Ogum issue first. The sooner we can relax some of the tensions here, the less people will be drawn to us. Because if they find out how we actually got here, it could end poorly for us.
Oh, on the bright side, I know that Odin was able to give a nice little sermon to some folks. I was able to make a killer mushroom stew. So that we're looking on the bright side, just in case.
I'm not doing it. I'm not bringing her here. Because I don't want anyone following us to the ship. The issue isn't, oh, it's one more mouth to feed. The issue is, you told us there were 4 of you, and now there are 6. I don't want anyone doing math. I don't want anyone keeping tabs.
Is it at all possible to get at least some of these folks out? How many can we fit on the ship?
Well, I'd like to bring at least at least 2 people with us, if possible. If we're not bringing the girl here, then that'd make it 3.
How many people can fit on the ship, Leslie?
Many more than what we have on right now.
Could you fit most of the people here?
100?
If there's about 200, according to my estimations, then
The answer is almost definitely no.
almost definitely no. Maybe 40 more, but even then, that's hard to keep up.
This would be an organizing a shuttle away, and it would take extra help and more than one trip, which is why I think we need to take care of the opposing faction so the food scarcity is no longer a problem and there is no pressure to get off. They can stay here and they can wait for help to come back. We can take as many as we can off in the moment, but right now these people are starving. They are on their last legs. I will not bring someone in to that.
That's good. I like that. Share the food.
One additional thing to consider as we formulate a plan is the potential for external intervention. We have a faction that we are fond of that is hopefully filled with men and women who have reformed and wish to be assets to society, but it seems to be a large faction of cannibals, murderers, ruffians, and the like. And I don't know if we'd be able to handle that entire faction. So it could be important to make the situation here known to a larger governing body.
Do you
Just
know
as
someone?
something to. Yeah, actually, probably. I'd probably be able to do that. Let's see.
Let's not forget, however.
Think about things for a second.
Yeah,
Let's not forget, however, that the current governing body are the ones that put many of these people here.
Yeah, but as much as we're all trying to be reformed, good people, I assume.
I never had to reform.
Didn't
Some
you
of these
just
people never had
execute
to
a
reform
prisoner?
either.
Yes, I did. That does not mean that some of these people don't deserve to be here. So that's just something to keep in mind.
So the
Tension.
oh boy, this is gonna get messy really
I might know
fast.
someone that can help in the neutral ground.
Oh.
I can go look for them.
That'd be better.
They're here.
They're here.
It's not some magic call. Allegedly. Last I heard.
Well, that's good.
Here
So
in
we
this
do-
camp
we-
or here on this planet?
Here on this planet.
Okay.
We can keep an eye out for them while we're handling Ogum. Take care of Ogum. Find your informant and bring the few people that we want to bring with us on the ship.
Not in that order though.
What does take care of Ogum mean?
It would be best if we found this informant first before we made any more decisions, because they would have a bigger lay of the land than we have here. At
Is
best,
there
taking
any-
care of Ogum would mean, we could attempt to fight him, but I'm not too keen on fighting an army to get to him.
I
So-
agree with that wholeheartedly.
So we need information. Because if we can get to him and only him and kill him, likely the rest of the forces would scatter and infighting would begin amongst them, which would significantly weaken the opposing forces and provide opportunity for, say, us to get people off, contact other people, so be it. But none of that can happen while we're fighting such an opposing force.
I never thought I'd say this, but I really wish Captain Silvers was here. He'd really like this. He'd know exactly what to do, I think.
Or
I think
any
our
of
first
us-
move is just find information. Any means necessary.
Is there any chance, Addie, that your friend is on Ogum's side?
Maybe.
Honestly,
Well,
all the
shoot.
better. Even if they are, we can get information out of
Maybe-
them.
Yeah, maybe we can. Maybe we got a friend on the inside.
Wouldn't
Maybe
say
they can help.
friend.
Huh?
Never said friend. I
Acquaintance.
just know someone.
Okay.
Okay.
Should probably, prepare and relax before we go. We've learned a lot of information
Mm.
today. Got the plan
Yeah.
set.
Yeah, I could use a nap, a long one.
Little cat nap.
If we're, is the plan for all of us to go find this informant, or do we think it could potentially be best for some of us to stay and perhaps Addie and maybe Taleth go? I'm not trying to make any plans. I'm just spitballing here.
It might be easier because if all of us leave at one time, it could potentially draw some eyes. Rograk also said that he would have his scouts keep an eye out. So having scouts then see all of us.
Yeah,
Not ideal.
and that allows us to maybe get to know some folks around here and maybe have some conversations that we're hoping to have. Like the doctor, for instance, and Rograk and stuff.
It probably would be best if you didn't go see the doctor, Leslie.
You realize we were like friends, right? She would be
It's
happy to
also-
see me, I think.
Gonna
I'm
be
not
something
quite
we
so
have to
sure about that.
reveal eventually.
What?
It's something we'll have to reveal eventually.
Maybe.
Not like we can bring the girl here or take the doctor there. without
You're
really-
saying that you think that I shouldn't see my old friend, the doctor, Anna
I want to
Rose.
hold
Is
all
that
of
what
our
you're
trump
saying?
cards as close as possible until the last possible second we need to use them. The sooner we use stuff like that, the sooner we expose ourselves in a very hostile environment to somebody I do not trust at all.
I agree.
You're starting to make it out like Dr. Anna Rose isn't someone trustworthy. Like we got to use me as some sort of trump card against the doctor.
That's what
Did she not
that's exactly
create
what
the
I
quick
just said.
steal?
Yes.
Is she not the reason we're here trying to save a little girl?
Now we don't know that for sure, right?
Do we?
You do not know where Quicksteel originally came from. You believe that it was originally mined on Ouroboros.
Might
So
I
it is
remind you?
unlikely that the doctor created it, but maybe found specific uses for it, perhaps.
Might I remind you
Regardless
that
of who created it, she did advance it. Now, we don't know how that affected the girl in the long term. That aside, she is still our best bet at helping her. And yes, Leslie, I am using you as a trump card because I don't trust her. Because talking to her did not make me feel better about knowing her.
Well, let's not forget that Captain Silvers was the reason that I, in fact, died. And that was because the government was telling him what and how to do, what he had to do, because they were the ones in control. Dr. Anna Rose was the ones fighting those powers that then succeeded in capturing her, and who knows what they forced her to do. So before assuming that she decided out of her own volition to do these things, let's consider the conditions she was in.
Leslie, I'm gonna need you to remember something. And I lightly put a hand on his shoulder. This is not the past that you remembered. This is something completely different. You don't know this Anna Rose in comparison to the past. You know her in the past, but not this one. We don't know what her mindset is. We don't know what she's capable of. Same thing with everyone else here. Same thing even with before we met Captain Silvers. You have only the information of the past. And it's kind of hard to go off of given what we've all just seen in the past, few days. I don't want to say few days, but we don't know her. We don't.
Yeah.
Not this current version, okay? So you cannot go off what you used to know.
It's been a long time.
You're a great and kind captain. We got lucky with you having you in our team because you stayed the same. From my knowledge, you stayed the kind, sweet person that you are, the leader that you are. You still had that grain inside of your soul.
Oh, well.
But other than that, we can't trust everyone else. It was hard to even trust you at first, let alone all of us.
All right. Yeah. You're right. It's a bit of a sensitive topic. It's a bit of a sensitive subject, and I see now that maybe people change in other ways too. And heck, she terrified me even back then, I guess. So I get it, I guess.
But hey, Leslie, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, all right?
Leslie kicks rocks.
Sliver of hope.
It's like the bunny
lollipop.
Bunny tantrum.
Visibly pouting.
Speaking
of
trusting, I'm sorry, Oda, go ahead.
I was just something else to consider as we make decisions is that we also don't know how the good doctor would react to Leslie, whether that's positive or negative. Having time for that dust to settle could also be important versus springing it as a trump card, as just something to consider.
Speaking of trusting people, what is our honest impression of this rogue rack?
Great guy.
Something's off about him. For him being his composure. DM, can I do a history check to maybe see if I could compare him to some previous stories I heard from people in the diner?
Make an intelligence insight check.
Boy, oh boy, can I do that.
He is here for a reason.
A 21.
Thank you for the raid, Lemony Abbey.
Yo!
Welcome, everybody.
Wow, that's incredible.
We're discussing the next steps in our journey.
Well, it's a definitely mixed bag for you, Medora. You have encountered people who are legitimately just like upright, upstanding people. In the diner, in terms of souls, very few, if any of them, were ever like upstanding. And so if they were being polite and kind, most likely they were like con men, snake oil salesmen, like people who are trying to be nice so that way you'll buy something or do what they want.
Well, still, the way he stands, I don't like how he stands. He seems too nice. He kind of gives me the vibes of like a snake oil salesman. It's like it's something off-putting, something a little.
I understand that. And there's certainly a lot of things that are maybe less adequate for our purposes that have happened in the past, but I have good reason to believe that he now is not a concern of ours. Trust me.
DM,
Let
can I
me
make
talk
an
to
insight
him,
check on
everybody.
Leslie?
Yeah, if you would like that, roll an insight versus deception, I suppose.
Look into my
Or
eyes, Taleth.
Persuasion, actually, because you're not lying.
Natural 20.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
You're in
what
trouble,
if I,
baby.
What if I roll another nat 20? I missed. It's not a nat 20. It was a 16 on die,
That's still pretty good.
which is a 17 total.
Okay.
Leslie looks like he's really passionate about the fact that he wants to talk to him. I'll say that much. You can probe me to say more if you'd like.
Yes.
DM.
I will never tell you that you have to say anything. I will tell Taleth. You know that he knows information that he is not telling you, but you do not think that he is lying.
Okay.
Trust me, everybody. I can handle this. I'll talk to him.
And what if he becomes the butcher again?
Well, I have on good authority to think that that will not happen. How'd you know about all that anyways?
I saw him. He's keeping something. He has been performing some sort of ritual.
Well, I guess that's not entirely surprising.
We're talking about rituals here. Can the druid and the death cleric over here possibly? Do you have any like information where we could probably look at it?
Yeah. Here, I'll fill you in. There took an intervention involving a priest and a other thing,
Doctor.
and a doctor that prevented him from being the butcher. And there's somebody that I trust that's keeping an eye on him to make sure it doesn't happen again. And it has never once happened since that time before the revolution. So it hasn't happened this whole time. Somebody I trust is watching him. And it makes sense that maybe for a time or two, they got to do a ritual to make sure it doesn't happen again. Maybe, just maybe, this Rograk is doing exactly what he needs to do in order to keep the butcher at bay. The one pounding at the gates of his soul.
Lovely. Yes, Oda, Medora, these are the notes that I was able to take based off of the rites that he was performing at the altar.
Oda whips out a pair of half spectacles, puts them on
This
the
is what
butcher's
he
nose,
was.
holds
This is
notes
what
out.
he was chanting, and then this was grafted to his back.
Excuse me, what?
Cat
Okay.
borrowed knowledge.
Because
Because it's for a skill that I'm not proficient in. Is that right?
Wait, what was the question?
I was going to cast borrowed knowledge and possibly do a religion because I'm not proficient in religion.
Medora guidance too.
Guidance, heck yeah.
And as a part of this ritual, there was some sort of severed foot on an altar.
Okay.
Good.
So, I'll need religion checks from both of you.
Okay.
You'll have the borrowed knowledge, so you'll gain proficiency in religion for that, and you'll also have the D4 guidance. DJ,
Does the fact that I speak celestial and infernal help?
I'll give you advantage on it.
Heck,
You're familiar with this kind of stuff.
Not the glasses on the nose.
Medora's hyperventilating. It's like a billion.
Okay, so hold on.
I got a 22.
22.
25.
25. Hot dang. The two of you go at this like a pack of jackals of knowledge.
Our field of study.
You just start pointing out things. Medora, you're actually relatively familiar with like infernal and celestial scripts. They're using a lot of stuff.
They spelled this wrong.
Yeah, both of you aren't really looking at the arcane. Really, that's Taleth saying he's got that covered. You recognize the same things that he did. You recognize names that are written in infernal and a mention of the god of decay. Both of you have some amount of familiarity with the god of decay. It's kind of an adjacent field. Medora, you are more familiar with it because of your like druidic knowledge. Decay is the only reason that it's anywhere near Oda's field is because that they are recognized as a god, and you have to kind of keep like you directly work for a god. You got to keep in contact, in the know with who's who. The god of the god of decay is a much smaller force, a kind of on the low down type of god who more incidentally became a god than anything else. They weren't really seeking it out. They originally were an apothecary, focused in the Ouroboros sector. And they were a very, very good apothecary, mainly focused on mushrooms, any sort of fungus, mold. They basically cultivated stuff. There are some rumors that they invented like a better form of penicillin. Like they're very skilled, and eventually enough people were saved by their creations that she kind of just unwittingly gained followers. Like it wasn't intentional. There was just enough people that were like shouting out her name that the Modrons recognized her and bestowed her a title of.
She's an influencer.
Absolutely.
I wanted to meet her so much. This is gotta. I wanted
100%.
to meet her. Like, you see my belt? It is covered in mushrooms. You see this? Like, she's my idol. You know. Jeez.
She's also dead.
Do good work. She did do good work.
Is that going in?
Well, she died in the war. In the rebellion.
Oh. I hate to break it to you, Medora. I really hate to break this to you, but
don't tell me, man. I like, please don't tell me, Leslie.
Look, I'm telling you, the loss, it's unprecedented. She was taken from us during the rebellion.
I should mention before you go any farther, she was not only just taken during the rebellion. In order for the rebellion to start, to be fully recognized by the Modrons, you would need to replace the owner of the sector with another title holder. And the volunteer that you had was the God of Decay.
Gotcha.
See, the God of Decay replaced her when she fell.
Close enough.
Not even
Something
Got
like
the
that.
vibe of it.
Not even
And
close.
I gave it a try, guys. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
Do I recognize any of the names, or is there any other information that Jar and I got?
This is interesting. This is right up your field. Roll a history check.
I love history.
Wait a second. Hold on, Aaron. Does that mean that the rebellion killed?
No, the rebellion was partially led by the god of decay. They were
Oh,
basically
heck yeah.
the
Girl
placeholder.
power. Wait.
Yeah, the
She was gonna
placeholder
take
for the new
Ooh.
the new owner of the sector. The owner of the sector is the devil of trade. That they were put in place by the Ouroboran government, and in order to overthrow them, they would need their own title holder, which was the god of decay. That's who the rebellion was trying to put in place as the owner of Ouroboros.
Okay.
This place would have been great.
Yeah,
If
my
she
God,
didn't die,
nat
this place
20.
would have been running with mushrooms.
20, hot
it would have
dang.
been live.
You've studied up on this.
Oh, very nice.
When you were a young man, you know,
Uh-huh.
you were traveling around.
60
doing
years
things.
ago.
You know,
Back in the day,
seriously.
you don't really keep contact with other clerics of death, other followers. But there is a communal ledger that is occasionally maintained that marks down important information for the other clerics from the god of death to the other clerics or what have it. And these names are names that were killed in a very short span of time by the same person. There was a serial killer, and one of the clerics of death basically dealt with their bodies, like following behind them.
Gotcha. Do I happen to know which one?
Which cleric?
Cleric? Yeah.
Let me check my notes.
Which of my professional colleagues?
Which one of my dogs did this?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to, we're not homeboys by any means, but
Well, I mean, you're kind of like family, like cousins a little bit, right? Or,
really no.
Twice
It
removed.
really is. It's like I manage this branch, they manage that branch.
Oh, it's kinda
we're
like general
associates
managers.
at best, coworkers, really.
so it's
Okay.
like a what are they called? It's like a chain, but like the owner of the chain can change. So like they
Franchise?
buy. Yeah, it's a franchise.
No,
You're an owner of
not at all.
you're part of the franchise.
No, I
They
mean,
can run
that's
their
like the
part of the
worst way to
franchise.
describe religion
Actually,
in
no,
general.
no. They
No.
can
He's
run-
onto something.
Yes,
He's really
he's
onto
on to
something.
something.
They can
don't
run
know if
their
we want to-
franchise however they want.
I
It's their-
don't know if
that's
we
kind of true, except under
That's
the
more
rules of
healthy, where they take the major religion and they kind of shape it to what they want.
Still do their own thing. No, so it's like each fast food chain is technically a franchise where like the general manager runs it according to what corporate tells them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
Exactly.
Yeah,
they have it's actually a pretty good analogy.
So,
It's
Like
No,
the
how
way
a
you
franchise
run
works.
I don't
things
like-
is like their menu items, like the little like specials, little house specials.
It's like
that.
no,
guess-
don't do this to
Guess
my
who
religion.
decides- Guess who decides what goes on the menu in certain regions?
What-
So maybe corporate gives you a little ritual that you can do, but the others can't, right? That's
Which
not
of
for
my
you to decide.
fellow franchise owners was the one taking care of the butcher.
That would
And
be
how
the
did you buy
alchemist.
into this?
The
How did you buy
alchemist,
into this, Oda? That is the question.
The alchemist.
Well, it's
I
kind of
digress.
like a pyramid scheme type deal.
no.
Oda's selling knives.
He's an MLM.
He shows up. and
That's
he's
rough,
like,
buddy.
I'm not sure if you've ever heard about this, but you manage your own hours. You get to
Be
go
your
where
own
you want to.
boss.
Be your own boss.
Fund your
100%.
travel.
Now there is
Get a
someone above
discount.
you, but they're very like
No
not at
strings
all attached
attached.
to what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, and you get to travel all over the place.
Oda's gonna have an
Great
existential
benefits.
crisis.
It comes with life insurance.
That's kind of true, actually.
Medora knows more of the god of decay, but this list of names here, they are from an incident several years ago that a colleague of mine was following. Several of these people were murdered within a relatively quick succession. That's the connection I have at the moment. I can reach out and see if a colleague of mine has more information on it, if we'd like.
I feel like everyone knows about this dude but me. Do I know anything about this guy?
No.
Cool. Just wanted to check. I didn't think so.
Fully in the dark.
Addie is a creature of simple means, you know?
Addie knows a lot of people. This is just not one of them.
He's clearly a villain to count on the list, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think they know each other, you know,
It was before our
passing,
time.
you know,
So
met one
Leslie,
night.
Yeah, I know. I regret to say it.
You want to talk to him. Well, what do you want to talk to him about?
Yeah, he's killed a lot of people. But again, that wasn't like entirely his fault. I want to talk to him because I kind of want to bring him with us.
What?
Sorry.
Come again.
I have a friend who has sworn to kind of watch over him and make sure it doesn't happen again. And I need this friend to come with us. And so in order for my friend to come with us, we've got to get Rograk to come with us.
So you want to bring a serial killer?
Serial killer, to be fair.
A serial killer over any
somebody might
of these
always be an addict, but they're not drinking. You know what I mean?
Starving, helpless people. You want to bring a serial killer on our ship over any of them?
I want everyone to get out of here with time. But you see, my friend.
Question.
Yeah, please.
As you guys were roaming around this lovely community, was there any young ladies in their mid-20s, early 30s, human, maybe elven, who happened to be missing a foot?
Oh, I thought we were
DM?
looking for a date for him for a second.
Can we all roll like a
Taleth looking to get cuffed at the prison.
Somebody who's like, 20s, 30s, you know. Did we see anybody without a foot, DM?
Like 5'6" Latina.
Oh my God.
In theory, you actually could figure out approximate height based off of the foot.
Yeah, you do not think. I mean, there are people that are definitely missing limbs. Yes, there's probably there's probably at least one woman in like 20s to early 30s that is probably missing a foot in this medical-based society.
Could she have been a guard?
She could have been.
Could they?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was a
not that I
receptionist?
know. Actually, I don't think I saw any. But
Well, this is what I do know. So it seems that your colleague Oda, the alchemist, and our good doctor were the two that seemed to help suppress the butcher.
Well, just to be clear, our good doctor is one you guys don't trust, right? Just clearing that up.
They're just using a generic
That's the
title for
one.
doctors.
Possibly bad doctor.
And
I'm not sure if that is the exact doctor that did this, but it is possible.
I am highly suspicious given the fact she mentioned that she trusted Rograk enough because she owed him, or he owed her, whatever. So that's too many coincidences to say that he happens to owe another doctor a huge favor.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Not to
Now,
go
the real
backwards for a
question
second.
is, I'm stuck on this foot.
Well, not to go backwards for a second, but I spent pretty much all day in the medical bay. There was one woman that matches your description. We could go talk to her.
I guess.
Or I
What
can
was
go
that?
talk to her.
You kind of murmured, Taleth.
That's
He's
just
still
Taleth.
murmuring.
That's just what he does.
Muttering to
Taleth,
himself.
Taleth has a very
Or something.
annoyed and pensive look on his face as he pulls out his pipe.
He pouts.
And
Why do I
some
imagine
steam.
you just look like Sam from Supernatural?
I do not. I have to look this up.
Yeah, no, I
Somebody
see
needs to drop that in the Discord.
Like you're
scowl.
brooding the like duck lips.
Oh, I
Or what
see it.
new kids say, mogging. I think that's
Wait,
the word.
Yeah,
That is really Taleth-esque. That's like surprising.
Very Taleth.
it's the brood.
Like me to
It's just
go
that,
speak-
but with a pipe with a marble in it.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Dota.
Taleth, do you? I don't want to step on your toes here. I'm simply here to help out. I'm not here to make any decisions.
well, here's what I would
Or
like
lack
to do.
thereof.
If possible, I would like to speak with the girl because assuming that her foot was the one that I saw on that altar, I doubt she gave it. Well, I would be highly surprised if she gave it freely, meaning that
Why don't?
if she did, if she is the same person, she either doesn't remember losing her foot, or doesn't realize Rograk is the one that took it, or would have already said something.
I understand. Maybe as an alternative, maybe before we send in the person that's not known or supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm annoyed, because I want to go see her and I can't go.
Well,
Ooh.
what if we take Melody or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forget the snake's name.
It's serious.
Why'd you forget? Is Sirius still on me?
Sirius.
I'm really hoping he is. I'm just like, oh,
I'm so sorry.
Sirius looks at you with
okay.
judgment.
It's okay.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay, buddy.
Sirius. I deeply
You're a great
apologize.
snake.
But I take one or the other
Spiteful
with me,
tongue flick.
and
DM.
maybe you can even connect with me, and then you can have me ask the questions you're looking for.
DM.
Hit me.
Could I? Oh, okay. Could I do a similar thing to what I did with the message cantrip, where I'm like talking like through my familiars to my party members with detect thoughts?
You would only be able to detect the thoughts of the person that you are on. So if you want to lay the snake on the girl or the bird on the girl, then it would work.
Then it would work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, just hold this for me real quick.
Yeah,
Hand
just
woman
hold
snake.
this snake.
This is my medicinal snake.
It's a therapy bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melody is a therapy bird. Another potential option. I don't know what your areas of expertise are in the arcane, but if you wanted to take my face, for example, to go speak with her, I don't know if that's an option that you possess.
I suppose disguise self is not concentration,
Ooh, hot dang.
which means I could.
Hi, I'm your friendly doctor, Priest Oda.
Ooh, I'm an old curmudgeon.
Oh,
That's I imagine. That's me.
I'm so
impersonating him,
old.
pretending
I
to
need
be
glasses.
Oh, my
Does anyone need healing in here?
Once,
actually
once Oda does mention like this, like the idea of taking his face, you do see like Taleth go, "That's yes, I can do that." And he like all of a sudden just starts like rummaging around again, and like flipping through his journal and his books. No, not that one, not that one. This, yes, okay. Oda, stay still.
It's just a Polaroid camera.
And he like just stares at Oda for a minute, and you
Oda
kind of
starts dozing
see like some of the shadows like creeping around, like begin to crawl towards Taleth and like overcome his form before dissipating, and he looks like Oda.
This is a horrifying experience to witness.
Oda, you're hoping that this is not true to form because you look worse than you kind of hope that you would.
Yeah. I think
spitting image.
you must have gotten a few.
Just
Are you
like it.
adding wrinkles to add to the senile
Really-
effect? Because
You're actually missing one.
do I really have
right
that much
here.
gray in my beard?
You really got his shape right.
No.
Actually, yeah, I didn't point that out. He was looking down before. I need Oda, look up.
You're missing a couple.
As Oda looks up, you guys notice a large, thick scar across basically parallel across the neck.
You missed that one.
I'm gonna pretend that I'm not deeply intrigued as to why you have a scar on your neck, looking like you were once beheaded.
Slit throat, but
Okay, great. I'm gonna go find this girl.
For another time.
he just leaves. Do you want any coaching? Oh, okay.
You do pretty well, Oda.
Please don't ruin my reputation.
Is anyone else going with Toda?
Toda.
My neighbor Toda.
Like to...
Or it may be better since it's magic for it to be Tada.
Ta-da. Yeah, chat. Put in your favorite Taleth / Oda names in the chat that you think of.
Are we getting
I think,
names?
yeah. I mean, I think I'd like to listen. I don't know. I think so.
It might be best for. Well, never mind. Maybe you should
Maybe
all
just
go be
Taleth.
around.
Wait, couple questions. DM.
I have a couple answers.
Mike. Okay. All right. Has most of the people within like the grounds they've looked at Melody, right?
Yeah, they know Melody.
Okay.
It's the first bird that they've seen in, for some of them, years.
Dang. I was gonna say if I could possibly wild shape into a bird that's like Melody, I probably can't copy Melody to a T.
You can actually copy Melody to a T.
Totally, absolutely.
You know
It's
what?
a bird you've seen.
Ta-da! Slow down real quick. And my
I feel like he walks like this.
my transformation is more gruesome. They start to hear bones crack, skin tear.
Why?
But I don't scream at all. I'm used to the pain. And they kind of just see me squeeze and crack and break, almost like if you've seen WandaVision, or like I think it's another movie where she like kind of breaks and everything. And I then squeeze down and with my black ooze concentrating, and then it slides off my weather-resistant, water-resistant feathers to be a lookalike of Melody.
Can I give a hand at it to make DJ upset?
Yeah.
You see, as Medora is walking away, she kind of puts her arms out, outstretched, slightly angled to the side, kind of in a T pose, and then all of a sudden you hear like a crack as the part of her arm that connects to her shoulder begins to shrink as her arm moves through the back to then jut out on the other side near her scapula, to eventually, as she shrinks down, her legs, the like hip going further inside of her, as she shrinks down, her head elongates and her jaw snaps into a beak, and then the two bony shoulders that now jut out of her back begin to feather down as her hands grab onto her spine to form the base of her wings.
You guys are so mean to me.
Expand outwards. And
Wild shape ain't pretty for Medora.
Tiny, adorable little bluebird. It's super cute.
Oda's crying.
As she flies, she like drips black ooze, though. Like that is an important factor.
Just flick it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Walk with an air of confidence.
Or fly.
Good luck. Good luck.
All of you head to the whoever's going with Tada. Yes.
So
I'll stay back.
Taleth goes. Jar Jar goes. Leslie, do you go?
I don't think Leslie goes.
Oh,
I think Leslie will hang with Addie.
Oh my
some
gosh,
time to
okay, go
decompress.
Well, Leslie's
just
the
happened?
trump card. So
Yeah. So the two of you, as Oda and Bird, head to the kind of medical facility that they have set up. Specifically, as you walk in, you see tending to the patients is Rograk. As you walk in, he is kind of running around. He locks eyes with you, heads towards you, and he says, "Hello, Oda. I'm sad that I missed it earlier, but I heard that you were performing some form of clerical service."
Well, of
to those
course,
outside.
I'm here to serve all of those who are in need and injured. I cannot stand by and watch these poor people suffer without when I can help.
Speaking of help, I was wondering if I might inquire something of you of a rather personal matter.
Of course. Oh my gosh.
Of course. What is it that you need?
It's a rather sensitive subject. Would you mind coming with me to a slightly more secluded area? I'd rather not. It could be a little gruesome.
Sure. I think that's all right.
Before they go, I try to quickly I'll try to go inside the back of Tada's.
Yeah, it's awkward for you because the clothing that is Oda's clothing is illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of clip into the illusion of fabric.
Oh dear.
Bite him.
He leads you around. He does not bring you to the to the broken down building that he was at earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He just brings you kind of around the corner and he says, "As a man of the cloth, do you maintain the confidentiality of a priest?"
Oh, of course.
Long ago, I was afflicted with a sickness. Caused me to do some painful things. I ended up hurting some people. But I was saved by some friends that I had never met before, some kind Samaritans that found me lost and astray. In order to heal me, in order to deal with the symptoms, because I could not be healed per se, I needed contact with a relic of sorts. The one that I have was given to me somewhat recently. And it is working. It is working well. But I feel somewhat disconcerted with its use. It feels as though it is not mine. I was wondering perhaps if you had some kind of alternative, a relic or option of any divinity, or perhaps a solution that the others could not find.
I could certainly attempt to help. I would be more than willing to perhaps. What is this relic that you possess?
I don't know how to explain it to you other than to just show it to you, but it could be rather shocking. At first glance.
Oh, okay.
He just reaches into his robes and pulls out a severed foot.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it looks bad. I'm not a fan of its appearance either. I was told that in me taking it and helping it and using it to help myself, it would in turn keep the relic safe as well. But I do not think that I am up for the task.
What is this task that you must perform?
Well, the ritual that I perform to keep my sickness in check is simply prayers, enhanced by the artifact. The man who gave it to me claimed that it was a piece of his god.
Interesting. I see. And this is what concerns you, is just the nature of this object?
I am not perhaps a better way. When I die, I doubt that I will go to a good place. This is a precious... If this is a god, a once person, beloved by many, I am not the right one to hold on to it. But to let it go would be to lose myself to madness. Without an alternative, I know not what my options lie.
I see. That is quite the pickle.
He starts to, his eyebrows furrow a little bit, and he goes,
Are you... Oh, right. Have you contracted a cold?
Oh, yes. I think it's because of all the sick and injured that I was helping with earlier. Well, if it's all right, I must meditate and think about this and about what sort of rituals I know that could help you in your condition. How long have you been conducting these rites?
Since before I was imprisoned here. As soon as I had regained control of my faculties, I turned myself in. And I have been performing them here ever since. The relic that I use now was given to me more recently. The one that I used prior, well, it was taken upon my internment. There was some time that I was simply a beast in a cage while imprisoned here.
And what did this prior relic look like? What was it?
It was a strange vial. It was filled with a strange liquid, viscous, green, for the most part. It had some form of arcane writing, perhaps spiritual in nature as well. It was given to me by the cleric that assisted me. course, it was not the only thing that I was given, but that was the relic.
And you had to perform the same rites that you do now with that relic, with this one?
Yes. Simply words of binding, of prayer and repentance, of pleading.
DM.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very curious now. If you don't mind, there's a particular spell I would like to cast just to see if I can't ascertain some more information. It won't do you any harm.
Of course, by all means.
And I will cast Detect Thoughts.
Excellent.
And if you can, just keep your mind focused on both this ritual and this thing that is being kept at bay, if you would.
Okay.
Oh no.
Very well.
And yeah, I'll just again just see what kind of surface thoughts there is. If there's any additional details, not that he's trying to hide anything, but anything that like any additional details that might stand out just from his surface thoughts. But then I'll go deeper to see if I can't.
His surface thoughts are plagued with worry and concern. He is doing his best. He's worried about Ogum. He's worried about food supply. There is an ever lingering fear that the butcher could break out.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of just an ever-present thought in his mind.
Right.
He needs to roll. Do you roll a check or he rolls a save for the dive deeper?
He has to make a save.
Excellent.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Well, he rolled a 3 on die. So no matter how good his wisdom is, that's not going to be good enough.
Okay. And so the main thing that I'm trying to see is if the butcher is actually still lurking deep in his mind and is almost its own entity in his mind, basically.
Yeah, okay. So, can you roll an Arcana check for me?
Sure, I like that. Whoops. Okay. That's a 24 DM.
A 24. That is quite good. As you delve deeper into his mind, you are presented with a barrier. Those same runes that you saw previously emblazoned on his back are present, and they are there, kind of hindering your ability to move through.
Mm-hmm.
With that check, you can easily push past them. Is that a thing that you would like to do?
Yes.
Okay. Your awareness of the world around you is cut off. And you step foot on a stone floor. Tiled slate gray stone and rough-hewn walls. There are flickering torches that block the hallway as you go, periodically. And you see farther down, the pathway splits into 3 directions. You do not see the butcher. You also don't see the way that you came in.
Okay, lovely.
To the outside world, Medora, Taleth falls over.
Wait,
Um,
on a forward or backward?
Yeah, backwards, almost onto you. You kind of slip out. You see Rograk go, "Oh, Oda," and attempt to grab him. And as he goes to grab the clothes, his hands just go through the illusion.
Yeah.
And he lands on the ground. He goes, "Devilry." That is where we're going to end this episode today.
Nice.
You just had to go interfere with Oda business, didn't you, Taleth?
Had to push past the runes.
Of course. Why would I not? Push
I would have done the same thing.
That was awesome.
I would have done the same thing.
I had an excellent time tonight. I hope that the rest of you did. Thank you to my players. You are fantastic. Love you guys. I think I have laughed more tonight than I have in like months.
Aww.
So thank you very much for that. I had a good time. I hope all of the people listening to us enjoyed as well.
Thank you for the raid as well.
Yes.
B-Dubs DM.
Thank you
There were 2. And
Two
Lemon Yummy.
raids.
Thank you guys.
Oh my goodness. We're getting raided all day, all night. If you want more of us, go to our Discord. There's other people that watch the show. We're in there. It is an ongoing project to make our stuff better. And Discord is where we do notifications, and we hope to make really, really sweet going forward. If you want to support us, there's a lot of ways to do that. You can share it with your friends and family. That's the easiest way. More people, more support. Also, our Patreon is a great way to support us. Going forward, we will be posting behind the scenes wrap-up content. Like after we finish the episode, we talk for like 30 minutes about the episode, about what the plans are, what we liked. That's where we're going to be posting that. So keep an eye out on there. We are doing our best to upload cool stuff there. Also, shout out to our Kickstarters. Couldn't be here without you. Check your emails. We'll be sending you information and questions. Make sure you fill out any survey that we send because we need it to send you cool stuff. I'm pretty sure that's all I have. That's all that Grant put on my outro sheet.
You nailed it.
The only thing that I have left to say is the same thing I say every week. Good luck and Godspeed, everyone. Whoa. Oh, do you guys level up?
No.
You didn't write that on my sheet, Greg.
I didn't. You know what? I forgot, and I might add it to the next one.
Yay or nay? Level up, not level up.
I don't think so.
It's 2 no's, 3 no's, 4 no's.
I'm seeing Gracie
5
shaking
no's,
her head.
6 no's, 7
Drew,
no's.
I love that Drew is
knows?
always like, what if we just leveled up every
He's like-
episode?
he's like,
No. That is not what me reminding Aaron about the question is. Because I also agree. I don't think we level up either. I'm just pointing out that Aaron needs to remember to ask the question.
I even wrote it down in like big bold letters on the left page where there's nothing else written, which is probably why I didn't look at it. That means that the only thing that I have to say is the same thing I say every week. Now that you guys aren't leveling up, we will figure out what happens to the rest of them next time. Good luck and Godspeed, everyone. We will see you next time, Dungeoneers.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Los amigos. Es buenos noches.